Do you think about the guy up in the water with his waders on in the mountains with all the beautiful scenery fly fishing? Makes you just want to go fly fishing, don't it? But it's not that simple. Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about what you need to get started fly fishing. But first I'm going to tell you how I got started. My dad gave me a fly rod years ago and I started fly fishing. But to experienced angler, I'd still be a newbie because I haven't really spent enough time to learn the art. Some of the basics you'll need to get started is what I'm going to tell you about. Some of the techniques, casting techniques, and where you can go fishing. Some of the basics you'll need, you can go to Bass Pro or something like that, any shop that sells fly fishing stuff. They'll have many rods and reels, some combos, but it'll be kind of overwhelming at first because the prices go up and down and lures and stuff like that. Just a big variety. The main thing you need to worry about though is your line, because the reel isn't very important, it just holds the line. And with the line, it'll cast weird if you don't get the right stuff. But if you look right here on your fishing poles, whenever you go in there, it'll tell you exactly what you need. And this is a little different than a regular pole because this one's way more flexible and way longer too. You can also get vests and waders, but that's not very important whenever you're first starting out. The main thing is just the line and the lures. The line itself is thicker than other line when it comes to like bass fishing or broom fishing or something like that. Your lures, there's three different types of lures. You got floating lures, nymphs, and streamers. Floating lures, they're called dry lures because they stay on top of the water and they don't really get wet all the way. Streamers are more realistic, like a minnow, and nymphs. They go under the water whenever you do your motion technique of flipping the rod. The main technique whenever you're fly fishing is over the head, and that creates a U shape in the line. It seems kind of complicated at first, but it's not impossible. With a lot of practice, just like everything, you can figure it out. But I suggest that whenever you're first starting, that you should start on land and not the water, because you need a lot of practice before you go. And you want to go to a place, whenever you're picking a place, that you want to be in the open, because your line's going to be way behind you and a lot of slack, and you'll get easily caught in trees. There's also a lot of videos on YouTube that shows you how to learn the techniques that you'll need, but over time you'll learn different techniques other than the over the head one. You can make your own lures, but you should probably start out by buying them, because that's a whole art by itself. It's called fly tires is what you're called whenever you start making your own, and that you take different materials such as feathers and pieces of cord, and you can tie your own. I've seen in Outdoors Life magazines and other magazines about fishing, it'll DIY articles on it. There's a guy in Mississippi who done a study on different chickens, breeding them and find the best feather to do it, and that's the most sought after feather to make it because it's the best, pretty much. You can fish in many different places. Like, you can fish just about anywhere fly fishing, saltwater or freshwater. You can do it at the ocean, rivers, ponds, lakes. But depending on what you're looking for is really, like fish-wise, that's what you'll want to choose where you go. You can do it from land or boat, but if you're in the ocean, you'll probably want to do it by the boat, and in a pond, probably by the on the shore. As you can see, understanding the basics of what you need is not that difficult once you kind of look it up. It seems way more intimidating than what it is. All you need is a lot of practice to really get good at it, but starting off, just get the basics, don't try to overdo it, or you'll get kind of confused. But I'm gonna head out and go catch myself.